Let's take a look at these. And let's call them BBs, if you will. That's right, BBs. You might understand what that is. And if not, maybe what's left over there could give you some answers. Now, the reason I nickname it BB for short is because I don't want anybody... Well, it's not that I don't want to say the whole... what it's really called. I just feel it's better if we just nickname it. But I think everybody knows what BB I'm talking about. Now, a lot of people may say that when it comes to BBs, that it's mostly for women. That's not true, because there have been men that take BBs as well. It's true. Men do that. In fact, there have been television shows, movies, comics, animes, mangas, you name it, all depicting that at times. Well, not all the time, but mostly, not all, but at half of the time, 50%, maybe 25% of the time, they depict men taking BBs, if you will. And sometimes they take it by themselves, and sometimes they, like I say, sometimes they take it by themselves, and sometimes they take it with the girlfriend or the wife, if you will, the lover. But there are times, like I said, that they also take them on their own. Heck, you look here on YouTube, there's videos of guys taking BBs. You know what I mean? Sometimes just out of making a fun video, or in some kind of party or something like that. But most of the videos also involve them kind of in a party with girls. And don't worry, they're all fully clothed. Don't worry. But the question is, why do people, men and women, like to take BBs? As well as, why do men and women sometimes like to have huge BBs? Let me give you an example. You may think I'm crazy for this, but this morning, I went to the store and I bought 2 bottles of BBs. Now, a majority of those bottles, the ones you just saw, are almost gone. You could say I used about maybe $2.50 on both. And then I got about $1.50 left on each. Now, you might think that's a little crazy, but I'm one of those people, and I'm pretty sure there are those out there as well here on YouTube. But I'm one of those that likes to take huge BBs, if you will. And the reason I like to take them is because it's relaxing, it's a luxury. But when I first started doing it, of course, I was just a kid. And what got me into it, of course, was the movie Pretty Woman. Believe it or not. And even before that, at the ending of an episode with the 80s sitcom The Hogan Family. Now, you might say to yourself, well, that's crazy that you'd spend as much as you did for 2 bottles and then waste most of it. That's true. You have the right to say that. You have the right to say that, but let me explain something. It's a luxury. And I hadn't done it in a long, long time. Honestly, I hadn't. The last time I think I did it was back in '09, I believe. Maybe a little later. But it's been a long time, believe me. And I just like these, and I just like them. And I've always been a fan of the huge BBs, if you will, because of what I saw in the movies and on television. It always makes me wonder how they do that. Heck, I even see it on YouTube sometimes, and on Daily Motion and Blimp.tv, and it makes me wonder, how the heck do they do that? Well, one thing of course helps is the fact that most of the time they use hot tubs or jacuzzis, so that helps out. But sometimes it's just a regular tub. But again, how do men and women do that? How do they make these big things happen? Well, together, both those bottles together are a combination of 64 ounces. Now I know you're saying, well, Brian, they sell 64-ounce BBs in stores and places. Oh, I know that, and I've bought them before. Believe me. I remember I used to work at Walmart in Kansas. They sold these big old 64 ounces of BBs, and I would buy them at times. And at times I would buy them to have a luxury, to enjoy some luxury. You know what I'm saying? And to relax. Now, but here was the thing, though. Here was the thing that really made me, happy that I was able to relax and all that, but also spoiled it. You see, yes, having the privilege to take a luxury BB when you have the money to afford it can be fun, but it can also be spoiled. You see, I remember when I lived in my apartments. Those apartments, hopefully they've renovated it or something like that, because the pipes were just connected one to another. I'll give you an example. Like I mentioned, I like to take huge BBs to relax in. And I know I'm not the only man out there. And I know I'm not the only man or guy or whatever that likes to do that. I know there are other men and guys, as well as women, girls and women, that like to do the same thing. But again, I tried several times to do it. Now, about once or twice I was successful, but all the other times I would get in trouble. I would have the maintenance guys show up and tell me, hey, we shouldn't be having to be called from our houses and from our homes in your door and told you're doing this. You see, folks, what happened is, once or twice, maybe 3 times, when I would try to, take, a huge BB, if you will, I would get a call, or I'd get a knock on the door, or even one time the guy would walk right into my apartment and say, hey, I've got somebody complaining downstairs that the toilet's overflowing with BB. You know what I'm saying? And to me, I'm thinking, come on, you can't be serious. But again, like I said, it's not my fault that they installed the pipes, the water pipes, the way they did. But again, besides that, truth be told, I've always liked to take them. Not always like to take, but when I can, I should say, when I can, I like to take huge BBs. There's no doubt about it. And I know there are other men and women, guys and gals out there that like to do the same thing. But again, is it so wrong to want to take a huge soak in a huge one? Is that so wrong? I mean, is it so wrong to spend the money at times when you have it? No, I don't think so. I understand if maybe you have less than what normally you would get if you're really low, and people say, hey, watch your money. Yeah, I can understand that, but still, I don't think it's really wrong if you want to indulge yourself at times. Heck, my family members at times, there are members in my family, siblings, cousins, they like to go out, party, and have fun, at times, even if they don't really have the money or the finances, and yet they still do it because to them it's a privilege, it's a luxury that they can enjoy, and it gives them somewhat of a break. It's relaxing for them, if you will. And that's kind of like what these BB baths, and finally I will say BB baths, if you will, are like for people like me, for men like me, and women and guys and gals alike. So, you know, comment down below, tell me what you think about what I said. Do you think tell me what you guys think about it. Do you think it's a luxury? Do you think if you have the money? Tell me what you think. Are BB baths a luxury to have? So, comment down below, tell me what you think, and I'll talk to you all later.